Once upon a midnight dreary, as I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, as I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as if someone gently rapping at my chamber door. Some visitor, I muttered, tapping at my chamber door, merely this and nothing more. Distinctly I remember it was in the bleak December, when each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly had sought to borrow from my bulks surcease of sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore, nameless here forevermore. The silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, just still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This it is and nothing more. Presently, my soul grew stronger. Hesitating then no longer, "Sir," I said, or "Madam, truly your forgiveness I implore, but the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door, darkness there and nothing more." Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token. And the only word there spoken was the whispered word Lenore. This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word Lenore. Merely this and nothing more. Back into my chamber turning, all my soul within me burning, soon again I heard a tapping somewhat louder than before. Surely, said I, there's something at my window lattice. Well, let me see them with their attis, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. It's the wind and nothing more. Open here I flung the shutter, when, with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped the stately raven of the saintly days of yore, not the least obeisance matey, not a minute stopped or stady, but with mien of lord or lady, perched above my chamber door, perched upon the bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. And this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore. Though thy crest be short and shaven, thou, I said, art sure no craven, ghastly, grim, and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore, quoth the raven, nevermore. Much I marvelled this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly. Oh, his answer little meaning, little relevancy bore, for we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculpted bust above his chamber door, with such a name as nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on the placid bust, spoke only that one word, as if its soul in that one word it did outpour. Nothing further than it uttered, not a feather than it fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before. Then the bird said nevermore, startled at the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken. Doubtless, said I, what it utters is its only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his songs one burden bore, to the dirges of his hopes that melancholy burden bore of nevermore. But the raven, still beguiling all my fancy into smiling, straight I willed a cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door, and upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, with his ghastly grim, ungainly gaunt, and ominous bird of yore, meant in croaking nevermore. This I said engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing to the fowl, whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining, on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight gloated over, but whose velvet violet lining with the lamplight gloating over she shall press nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer swung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. "Wretch," I cried, "thy God hath lent thee, by these angels he sent thee respite, Respite and nepenthe for thy memories of Lenore, quaff? O quaff this kind nepenthe, and forget thy lost Lenore? Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, weather tempter sent, or weather tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate, yet all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted. Tell me truly, I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, and by the heaven that bends above us, by the God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within the distant Aiden it shall clasp a sainted maiden, whom the angels named Lenore, clasp a rare and radiant maiden, whom the angels named Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that word our sign of parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked, upstarting. Get thee back into the tempest in the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as token of the lie thy soul has spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart. Take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door. And its eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming, and the lamplight over him streaming throws his shadow on the floor. And my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore.